this year's regular season. How much different do you feel today than you would have a year ago entering a Game 2 start?
Definitely feel a lot more confident for sure. I think I learned a lot from last year, and then I've continued to learn more about myself this year. So I feel like I know who I am, and it's just a whole lot more confident. I think even last year in the World Series, there were still a couple questions, like can I still do this? And after I had my first outing, I did, and I feel like from that point on, I've just kind of continued to build off that, and here we are.
Justin?
Kyle, if there was somebody, a pitcher now who's in the position that you were in last year and maybe had some doubts or didn't know if they would make it to where you are, what would your message to them be?
I think that you're just never as far as you think you are. I feel like when I was struggling and I was, got to as low as I did, I feel like where I'm at now was forever away. And really it wasn't. It was just, a couple tweaks here, doing some mental work, and next, a couple months kind of go by, I kind of get my footing back, pitched well in AAA, got the opportunity in the World Series, and took that into spring training, and here I am now. So that's what I think it is. It's just you're never that far away. You're always at one little tweak, whether it's physically, mentally. I think for me it was both from a turnaround. So I think you just got to keep pushing. It's pretty cliche, but it's still pretty true. Just keep going. You're not that far.
And then how much of a point of pride is that for you to be one of those turnaround stories people can look at?
It is cool. I wish I would have got it going a lot sooner, and I didn't have to do this. But for me, it just makes me proud. A lot of good people in my life that helped me get there, family, friends, coaches. So I really didn't do it myself, so I can't take really all of the credit or really any of the credit. But yeah, it's very satisfying to know that I made the turnaround that I did.
Kind of a bigger picture, you've been a part of each one of these clubs that's won the division over the past 5 years. You've played with a lot of these guys coming up through the minor leagues. What has this journey been like for you guys to go from young players to world champions last year and once again trying to do that again this year?
It's really fun. I feel like I've gotten to know a lot of these guys, since I first got drafted by the Braves. So to kind of come up with a big group of them, and it's been a lot of fun just because we're a very close-knit group, and the guys that we've acquired or gotten over the years or gotten this year, I feel like have just fit right in. I feel like I've known them forever. I could kind of point to Matt Olson. I feel like the second he got in the locker room, I feel like he just fit right in, and he's just a great guy. So I think that just says a lot about what Alex tries to do here, and that's get good guys, good character, and I feel like that really helps us grow as a team, and I feel like we should have a lot more fun because of it.
Mark?
Do you feel like a pitcher has the advantage when facing a division rival in the postseason?
I feel like it can go both ways. We know them, but they know us at the same time, so it really comes down to who executes better, I think. Ideally I execute better than they do, but you never know. So they're a really good team, got a really good lineup, and a lot of experience over there. So it's going to be a tough challenge for sure, but just kind of have to stay within my plan and control what I can control, and kind of whatever happens from there happens.
Jesse?
Another one of your teammates got locked up yesterday. I'm sure you're happy for him. I mean, what's that like among you guys? It feels really unusual in this day and age. I'm sure you guys kind of feel the same way. What's the chatter like among teammates when this keeps happening with this organization?
I think it's just really exciting, knowing that you have a chance to play with guys for a long period of time. I feel like that's a really important thing that sometimes I think gets undervalued. So I think knowing that there's a good core group who's going to be here for a long period of time, and again, it's a lot of high character guys, great people. So I think that is a big part of it. But it's really exciting to be a part of the Braves, and knowing that there's a good core group for a long period of time. So and we're just so happy for everybody that's gotten these extensions, and it's more than deserving. So it's just a really, really exciting time. Anytime somebody else can get locked up here for a long period of time.
Kelly?
Snick kind of told us about Tyler Matzik a few minutes ago. I know he was such a huge part of the run last year, and Kyle, you know how big bullpens are in the postseason. From a year ago to now, how has Dylan Lee been able to kind of solidify himself as a guy who can take over some of those high leverage innings and help out?
Yeah. For me, it started when I first got to know Dylan last year in AAA, and we were at the time we were at the alt site, and he was still in spring training, and he was one of the few pitchers that came up and joined us, and his first outing, he was incredible. I think he struck out the side and got all types of swings and misses. So that was kind of when you first realized, like, this guy's pretty good. And then he just kept doing that outing after outing after outing. He's gotten called up this year and has continued to do that. So mentally, he's just tough as nails, I think. The game just doesn't faze him. He slows it down really well. He trusts his stuff. It's not overpowering. It's, 90 to 93, but he commands it really well, and he throws it with just a little bit of extra to it, I guess. And he's got a great off speed slider and changeup. So he knows his game. He trusts it, and he's fearless. And I think that's why he's been able to, pitch the way he has and pitch in those high leverage innings.
Justin.
As a teammate, how much do you just kind of hurt for Tyler and what he's going through in this time?
Yeah, it sucks, man. He's such a huge piece to this team, not just on the field but off the field too. He's a great teammate. His experiences, I think, has helped me a lot, just knowing kind of what he's gone through and how he's been able to come back. So, for me, I've learned a lot from Matic. So you really hate it for him. It sucks. Hopefully he can get better soon. But yeah, it sucks. You know how much fun he had in the postseason last year. He was a ton of fun to watch every time he took the mound. It just felt a little bit different. So, you hate it for him, but he's still going to play a part of this. He's just going to continue to be a good teammate, and he's going to kind of be there for us. So he may not be playing, but he's still going to make an impact for sure.
Maria.
Maybe you've said this throughout the year, but besides confidence, what adjustment can you point to that's kind of gotten you to this point?
I made some mechanical changes. That's kind of been a big one. And I've also just started to use my curveball more. So really kind of those two paired together has then kind of allowed me to, my command's gotten better. All of my stuff, numbers-wise, has improved. So it's really just kind of a mix of a lot of that together, and which has allowed me to attack more, throwing more strikes instead of, walking guys or falling behind. And then I think on the mental side of it, I've just learned to trust myself and understand who I am as a pitcher. And I've really bought into the one pitch away. That's something, I've worked with our mental performance coach, Zach Sorensen. One pitch, this pitch. It's something that it's really hard to do just because it's easy to kind of fall into the trap of looking too far ahead. So I think whenever the game starts to speed up on me, that's what I really buy into, and knowing that you're one pitch away from a double play, a pop-up, an out, whatever it may be, or just a strike. So that's been the big part for me mentally that I've bought into pretty heavily. And, we still work on that a lot and talk about it a lot. So kind of the marriage of those two things has really been big for me.
Gabe.
Kyle, what makes Zach Wheeler such a great pitcher?
Everything. He commands really well. He obviously throws really hard. Great slider. He has a big presence. He attacks the strike zone. He's a lot of fun to watch pitch, but you hate facing him. So, I really can't say enough good things about him. I feel like we've gotten to see him pitch now 4 or 5 times this year, and I feel like he's looked good every time. So, obviously we got to worry about tonight, but it's going to be a grind against him tomorrow too. He's got great stuff, and it's going to be a battle.
Maria.
Did you watch much of the wild card series?
Not really. I watched bits and pieces. I tried to watch all the games when I could, but I tried to really enjoy some time with my wife and play golf and just enjoy a little bit of time off, help recover and get back. So I was able to watch bits and pieces, but I tried to just enjoy those off days and kind of hit the mental reset a little bit.
Of the bits and pieces that you did watch, did you find draw any inspiration from the pitching performances at all? It's okay if you didn't.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, there's a ton of talented pitchers that pitch in that wild card, so I feel like I don't know if I'm necessarily surprised with how well a lot of those guys pitch because they are so good and so talented. So, but anytime, you're not playing that team and you see someone go out there and pitch really well, it's fun to watch, and I think it's just great for our game to see guys go out there and compete and go deep into a ball game and give their team a chance to win. So, yeah, it's like I said, as long as it's not against your team, it's fun to watch, and I guess you can get a little bit from it.
Ethan.
As a rookie, how impressive have you been with Spencer Strider, and how important is it to get him back for the NLDS?
He just has a huge presence. I hope I'm not butchering this. I think he's 22 years old, but it's like he's 30. He's just very mature. He's an old soul. He knows his game really well, which is attack with the fastball and then pitch off that. So and he has a big presence. It's hard to say enough good things about him because I think you really do forget that he's a rookie sometimes because of how well he pitches, how much he attacks, and just the year he's had. He's already broken, however many records in his rookie year, which is kind of hard to even, fathom that someone at his age has been able to do that. So you can't say enough good things about him, and getting him back healthy and back on the roster is huge for us, and it's definitely a big pickup. Excited to watch him do his thing.
Kelly?
You good?
I doubt you have to say anything because it seems like every big moment your rookies have, like you just said, Strider, have showed up and competed. But if you had any advice for Michael Harris, who's stepping on the stage for a first time, or Vaughn Grissom, what would it be?
Yeah, I feel like it's just staying within yourself. It is a bigger game. It's higher stakes, but at the end of the day, it is still just another baseball game. So I think it's hard to really buy into that just because the stakes are so much higher, but it's what it is. So just got to stay within yourself. I think a big thing is, you don't necessarily have to be the hero, just finding a way to, make a play, get on base, and then the big hits will come, the big plays will come just because, he has naturally gifted talent, natural ability that's going to take over. So he just needs to, let that ability shine, I think.